What's going on, everyone? So we are going to get the first look at Spencer Dinwiddie in a Lakers jersey, and I could not be more excited. I genuinely believe that Spencer Dinwiddie is a guy that is going to make an impact and a real impact on this team. I'm not saying Spencer Dinwiddie is the guy that's going to come in and all of a sudden the Lakers are the best team in the league. But what this guy does is he gives you another person that can come in, make plays, be a legit three-level scorer, hopefully pick it up on the defensive side of things. He's also a guy that gives you that other guy any given night. What I mean by that is, you know what you're going to get from LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? D'Lo, the last month and a half, 2 months, has basically been that third guy. And Reeves at times this season has been like that fourth guy. Right? There's some games, like last game, where he gives you 27. And I'm not saying he has to give you 27, but there's times where he is really good and the Lakers win those games. And then there's the games where, he's got 9 points and he's 2 of 11 and 0 of 6 from 3, and the Lakers lose those games. Well, Spencer Dinwiddie gives you another guy that when Reeves has a bad night or D'Lo has a bad night, right? Because a lot of times D'Lo might have a bad night and Reeves picks it up. Right? But then we lose those games because it's D'Lo gave you 9, but Reeves gave you 25. Well, Spencer Dinwiddie just gives you that other guy that can come in and be that third guy on any given night or be that fourth guy on any given night. I really like that, and I really do think he can have an impact. Now, it also depends on which Spencer Dinwiddie we get. If we get this season's version of Brooklyn Spencer Dinwiddie, then the Lakers are in trouble. Right? He's probably not, might be more of a liability than he will be a help. But if he is last year's Dallas version of Spencer Dinwiddie, then the Lakers are going to be in great shape. Touch on that all here in a moment. But before we dive into all the ins and outs, I want people to understand, don't expect him to be great immediately. It's always a possibility, right? We'd all love for Spencer Dinwiddie to go into this Detroit game and even follow it up in the Utah game and give us, 25-5, right? That would be beautiful. We'd all be excited. We'd all be pumped. Woo, Dinwiddie's here. Let's go. Let's get it money, right? But got to keep in mind, he's first game in. He's playing behind. He's probably going to come off the bench for 1. 2, even if he does start, he's playing behind Reeves, D'Lo, LeBron, and AD. So he's going to be, the 5th guy in the pecking order, bare minimum, right? At least in the beginning. Maybe he does, emerge and establish himself as that 3rd or 4th guy. But momentarily, he's going to be the 5th, 6th, 7th guy while he gets acclimated and kind of fitted into this team and this roster, right? I wouldn't be shocked if he goes and gives us something like 15 or whatever. But I'm just saying, let's calm expectations for at least a handful of games, see what he's able to do. And then after a handful of games, it's okay, now we can start making our assessment. Now we can make our real judge. Obviously, if he's just comes out and he's blazing, let's get it, right? That's great. But even then, right, let's give it a little time to marinate before we just that's it. Spencer Dinwiddie, Michael Jordan 2.0, here we go, right? Things like that. But diving into the nitty-gritty of things, right? This just gives LeBron and AD another guy to take pressure off of them, right? As I mentioned, another guy that on any given night could be that third guy. Could go give you 17. Could go give you, 9 assists. I mean, he averaged, for Brooklyn last season, because remember, he was traded from Dallas to Brooklyn. Last season, after the Kyrie trade, he averaged 16 and 9. So this is a guy that can make plays. This is a guy that hopefully can lock down on the defensive side of things. He's been terrible defensively this season, but he's had some very good defensive seasons. Now, part of it is just Brooklyn isn't a very good team. Part of it is Dinwiddie was kind of checked out. Part of it was just, you're in a different environment. You're fresh. You're excited, which I do believe Spencer Dinwiddie will be, right? He's always dreamt of being a Laker. He's always, he had a tweet back in 2013 where he was don't worry, Lakers, I'm coming. And he even clarified that recently. I posted that in a YouTube short. Go check that out. But the thing is Spencer Dinwiddie had his most efficient season playing alongside Luka. And it's because of all the attention that Luka just demands and draws. And so Spencer Dinwiddie got a ton of just isolation plays. He got a ton of just spot up shooting. He isn't great shooting the three ball under pressure. He's in like the 32%. But on wide open threes, catch shoot threes, he's like 42%. So he's going to get a lot of those. And that's why he shot nearly 41% in Dallas playing alongside Luka. Well, he is going to have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and even D'Angelo Russell to get him open looks. I mean, look at some of the looks that Taurean Prince gets and Austin Reeves gets, and even D'Lo. I mean, they're getting wide open looks at times. Spencer Dinwiddie's going to get a lot of those. And his ability to constantly be a threat off ball with the ball in his hands, his ability to be a slasher and a cutter, and his ability also to go one-on-one, beat guys off the dribble, and be effective in that regard. He's going to be very versatile, right? We need him, though, however, to buy in on the defensive side more than anything, right? If I could have Spencer Dinwiddie give you, 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists a game, or Spencer Dinwiddie give me 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, but he's locked down defensively, I'd rather that, because that would be more of a need. That would be more of an impact. Give me that. Like if I have to trade Spencer Dinwiddie giving us, 7 to 8 less points, but he is everything we need from a guard defensively, I will take that. I'm not saying he's elite. I'm not saying he is just the greatest defensive guard in the league, but he has had some very good defensive years. He's had years where he was like a 112 defensive rating, which is like 3 to 4 points better than league average, right? Can he go and get back to that, where he's just buying in on the defensive side of things, right? That's another factor that goes into which Spencer Dinwiddie are we getting. If we're getting that version that buys in to the role that is asked of him, locking down on the defensive side of things, making plays for others, hitting open shots, and really buying into that two-way player that he's capable of being with good size, good length, all the tools to be an excellent defensive player, then he's going to have a much bigger impact than people think. Much bigger. As I mentioned, though, what Spencer Dinwiddie are we going to get? If we're getting this season's Brooklyn, where it's kind of like at times he's completely disinterested, isn't getting after it on the defensive side, just letting players just run by him and doesn't really seem to care, which I don't believe we're going to get that, because again, he's born and raised in LA, loved the Lakers his entire life, grew up dreaming and hoping that he could be in this jersey at some point. Now he is. So he's going to be locked in, excited, and focused. Like, I think it's a safe bet to say that he's going to be maybe not exactly what he was in Dallas, but at least closer version to that than he will be the Brooklyn Nets that we have seen, right? And playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis is going to do wonders for him. I mean, look at everywhere he's been. He's always been, the second, third option at worst, right? In some cases, he's even kind of been the first option. He's going to a Laker team where he's not going to be the first. He's not going to be the second. He's probably not even going to be the third. He's going to be the fourth, maybe even fifth option. So the pressure isn't going to be there. The inconsistencies at times aren't going to be as highlighted, aren't going to be as impactful, right? Because you don't need him every night to go give you 20. And then when he does have those nights where he goes and gives you 25 or 30 or whatever, you're probably winning all those games. I know many people are super not excited about the potential of a 3-guard lineup with Reeves, Dinwiddie, and D'Angelo Russell. Personally, I'm okay with it. Just not like super heavy doses. Like if Darvin Ham's plan is to play the 3-guard lineup game in and game out like 30 minutes a game, then yeah, that's a bad idea. But if you're playing them like 15 minutes a game, it also depends on what Spencer Dinwiddie we get, right? If he becomes and buys into that defensive side of things, at least when he's in the lineup with D'Lo and Reeves, then it may be very good. Because you're talking about three guys that are skilled guards that can score at all three levels, make plays, get out in transition, right? All three guys can hit the wide open shot. You can continue to push the pace. You don't have to wait. At times where like Rui will get the ball and he's like waiting for D'Lo or somebody to come. No, it's like basically 1 through 5. If you get the ball, let's go, right? Because you're putting those three alongside LeBron and AD can push the pace and bring it up, right? Like there's a lot of value in that. Again, which Spencer Dinwiddie do we get? And we will see. Time will tell. I'm not against it. I'm not against them trying. Obviously, if it's not working out, then don't keep forcing the issue. But how do you know unless you try, right? Like, I think a lot of people have like the PTSD from last season where you had Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, Patrick Beverley, right? Dennis Schroeder. And it's like, man, but all those guys were very one-dimensional. None of those guys could shoot. They were all pretty bad defensively. It was just like you didn't have anything on either side of the ball with most of those guys. I mean, Patrick Beverley literally was the worst offensive player in the league last season when he was with the Lakers. Kendrick Nunn wasn't that far off. Right? Dennis Schroeder was super inconsistent. One game he's 20 points. Next game he's 2. He's like 1 of 11 from the field. Defensively, he was great. But Spencer Dinwiddie has that in him. And he's bigger and stronger and more physical because he has the size to do so. Talk about a guy that's 6'5", 6'6", with like a 6'9" wingspan. He's got the size, he's got the length, he's got the physicality. He if you get that, then it could go very well, right? So my thing is like, let's wait and see before we're so quick to judge. But regardless, these three guards is a great rotation, right? Seriously, I mean it's an excellent rotation as far as the three. I'm not even talking about like if all three are on the court together. I'm saying like whether it's Reeves or Dinwiddie off the bench. I personally think, especially if Dinwiddie buys in on the defensive side, I do think he's eventually thrusted into the starting unit, right? If he really emerges as a two-way guard, Darvin Ham's going to end up you're going to have to at that point, right? And then Austin Reeves coming off the bench, which is fine. Austin Reeves has averaged the same, almost identical, the exact same points, rebounds, and assists off the bench. The difference is Austin Reeves has been more efficient off the bench by far, by like a landslide, has been more efficient off the bench. So to me, it's like, okay, it's a no-brainer. If Spencer Dinwiddie can buy in and play both sides of the ball, you start him, and then you bring Reeves off the bench, and now you're off to the races, right? But we'll see. Again, time will tell. You got to kind of make Dinwiddie earn it. You need to have him prove it. You don't want to just like hand the keys to the kingdom as soon as he shows up, and now Reeves is like, hey, wait a minute, right? You want it to be fair. You want to seem like, okay, right? So we'll see with that. But I'm excited for Spencer Dinwiddie. Again, give him a little time. Obviously, if he's great immediately, that's great for the Lakers. But don't be so quick to, he's trash, this, that, and the other. Like, let's give him time to really marinate. Also, let's give time to see how things look, right? I'm talking about lineups and whatnot, because you are inserting a guy that is a starting level player, right? That whether he comes off the bench or starts, you're going to want to try to experiment with different lineups, different looks. Like, okay, what units look best with him, right? Even if it is the 3-guard lineup, right? What other 5-man units look good with Spencer Dinwiddie? So there's going to be a lot of experimentation and whatnot. But I'm excited. I don't believe he's the guy that like all of a sudden Lakers are the best team in the league. I still think that the Lakers can collectively get there. And I still get to the playoffs and I'll take my chances. Lakers have shown that they could beat anybody. But they gotta head in the right direction, is my point. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Are you excited for Spencer Dinwiddie's debut? Are you not? What are you projecting? What are your thoughts? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.